Hello friends, Hal here. That is Lágrima by Francisco Tárrega. Now, admittedly, I can't play this as well as I should because I haven't practiced it enough, but I've been working on it. And so I'm going to teach it to you today, and I hope you'll stick with me. I've written out this piece and also put the tab with the way that I play it. There's a couple of little changes that I've made, and I think they're good changes, most of all. If you want to do it the absolute traditional way that everybody else plays it, you can do that too. But this could help you to step into being able to play Lágrima like a pro. Let's get started here. First of all, you can see that I've got my foot on something, and maybe you can't see exactly what it is, but I've got this particular stool under my foot, and my left foot is up. I decided to use my classical guitar. This is an Ibanez classical guitar. It was built in 1976, if that means anything. The reason I did that is because it has a little more space in between the strings. And also I found that when I was playing this part and practicing it, if I was in this position, that particular note was not coming out. Right? Right there. And so I needed to either get underneath it. Very difficult. So I decided to put it into this position, which is the classical guitar position. Let me... right there. Now that's a little difficult for me, and I don't know why. And it's possible that, well, my hand was broken about 5 years ago, and this knuckle is actually pushed back a little bit from where it normally is. I don't know if you can see it from there. I could do a close-up here, but my knuckle, it looks like it's not even there. It's actually over here. So that may have something to do with my ability to, stretch that finger around. It might be just a 1/16 of an inch shorter than it was 5 years ago. Let's see here. See, that's hard to do. So getting it into this position is really important. So I would suggest that if you're doing any finger picking, this is a really good position to put your guitar into. Put your foot up on a stool, or another thing you could do, and if you don't have a stool, and if you do have a hard case, like this one, for your guitar, put this part of the case on the floor and then put your leg up on it. It's not quite as high as that stool was, but it gives me a little bit of elevation. And also the stool that I'm sitting on here is a little lower. Well, that sounded really good, didn't it? Maybe it's just luck. I need some more work on that. Oops. Okay, so let's talk about the particulars of this piece and what you need to do to be able to play it well. First of all, we're in standard tuning, and we are in the key of E major to start with. Now you can get the music if you go over to Patreon and sign up as a $2 patron over there. These are available on one of my patron-only posts. Just do a classical guitar or Francisco Tárrega search there, and you can download the music. So what we do, I'm using my first finger and my fourth finger on these two notes. And keep it first and fourth finger the whole time I start with that. Let's zoom in and I'll show you what I mean. So here we are. We're on the second and the fourth fret. And I'm plucking the D string with my thumb. And I've got my thumb, index, middle ring on these four strings. So I'm using those fingers. And my thumb is going between the D string and the A string. of my students asked me about this before. He said, how do you get the string, you know, get that string not to have that squeaky noise? Well, when you play this, you can lift this index finger up a little bit and then slide, lift, push it back down, lift, push it back down, lift. Okay. If you don't do that, you're going to get that squeak, which you may not want. So I would recommend that you get that. Does this twice. Then we go all the way up to the 12th fret. Oop, wrong note. Get the tab, okay, and then you'll be able to see this. So what we do here is we're on the 9th fret, the 11th fret, and the 12th fret. And we get into this position. So we're plucking the D string and the E string, and then the G string. Same thing. Now we're plucking the B string, and then we play. This is really an interesting way to play this little melody right here. Right? Because what we've got here, it looks like a, oh, well, it's an E7 chord is what it is. And then we go up to something that looks like an A minor chord on the 11th and 10th fret, right there. And I'm doing it with my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. And we're plucking the D string, the E string, and then the index finger on the G string, and the middle finger on the B string. And then we go down to this. I just keep these two fingers. Now this is like it's like an A7 chord. And this is like an F chord, right? On these two. And then we play the bass note, and then the G and the B string, and then we go to an E chord. Now I think actually what it does is it says to pluck it all at once. But every once in a while I roll it like that, and it sounds great. And then you do a repeat on that section. I'm just going a little fast here, just to get through it. And you're back up here. And then, oh. Now we go to a minor section. This is E minor. Okay, so we're starting off with the E string and the G string and the B string open. And your melody is right there. And then you play a B major chord, right? But I'm only playing, so I'm playing these three notes. And then to an E minor chord. Now this is the melody. Right? And we want that melody to come out. And then we have, now this is not the melody. So you want to do that very lightly. And then we play the E minor chord again. And then we're playing this melody right here, 12th fret. And then we play, there was another way of doing this, and everybody I looked at had a different way of doing it, and they did like something like that. I just didn't like it. And then I went here. Okay, so what we did 7th fret, 8th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, and then we're here into this B chord again. Here comes the melody again. Now this is the minor. Now in the beginning we went, this is minor. Okay, so it's like 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. And then we play an A note, and I think on the music it tells you to play it together. And that little melody. 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 7. I love it. You'll notice that these two fingers, my index and my middle finger, are on the B and the G string. Right? That's so that they won't play. And then what I do is I take my thumb and I put it over on the E string so that it doesn't vibrate inadvertently. Now Tatiana, what she does is she plays, the first time, she plays this little melody like that, and then the second time she plays, which I think is very pretty. Now what I do there, I stop the other strings with my left hand. I mute them. Now these are the open strings. D7 chord, it looks like a D7 chord, but, and then it goes. Now I'm playing the B note by itself and then playing these 3 notes to the B7 chord separate. In the music it says like that. And what I decided to do was to do the melody, chord, melody, chord, melody, that chord, and then back to E minor. Then we do a repeat on that part. Remember, very softly on this. Just remember that first time Tatiana, what she did, she actually did a harmonic there. What I'm doing with this finger now is I'm muting the E and the A string so they don't play inadvertently. And so you can either play the note or you can play a harmonic, right? Now this is very important. When I was working with this, I noticed that if I didn't use these specific fingers, I was going to have a lot of trouble. I'm playing it with my 3rd finger and my 4th finger and a bar across on the 2nd fret. Open B string, and then I use my 2nd finger or my 3rd finger. If I use my 3rd finger, then I slide up. Right? If I use my 2nd finger, then I go to my 3rd finger. See that? I muted that string. Go back to the beginning. Take your time on this part. Oops. And sometimes I just like to roll those. It just sounds so good. Of all at once. Of course, you can always do it at once. Let's see. Like that. But a roll will just give you this nice sound. So there's some tips about how to play Lágrima by Francisco Tárrega. You can get, right now, you can get over at Patreon, you can pull up the tab $2 donation and you can get the tab and anything else I have there. You can message me and I can get you other lead sheets and all kinds of stuff that I've got. I'm actually working on a book, and at the beginning of next month, which is April, I'm going to make that available to everybody. And you can also email me at lessonswithhal@gmail.com. I'd love to do a live stream sometime, and we need to do that. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.